Well, here we go, Manchester United fans. This is it. It is deadline day. If you were living under a rock, or maybe you just walked away from Old Trafford or turned your TV off yesterday after that Crystal Palace game and didn't want to know about any news, you would have heard that Manchester United's approaches for Mathys Tel were off. Deal done. No conclusion. Bayern Munich and Manchester United walking away from the deal. Not true. Fabrizio Romano late last night, as expected, with deadline day approaching and these deals needing to be concluded by 11 o'clock tonight. There is now more developments in this story. We're going to get into them, what is actually happening, keep you right up to date with everything as we will do throughout the day. But Mathys Tel is not off, according to Fabrizio Romano. We're expecting Tyrell Malacia to walk out of Manchester United's doors today. Real Betis and Juventus both interested in him. That deal is still possible as well. Actually is expected to happen, according to sources coming from Manchester United as well. There is a ton to get through and a lot to go over. This day is just going to be one of them where every single Manchester United fan is just hoping that something can happen, hoping that something can actually come through the door in terms of an attacking option that's going to give this team a chance of scoring a goal, because that is something that we just do not do here at Manchester United. Unfortunately, it is the way it is. United are kind of desperate right now. Will they buckle? Will they fit that obligation in that Bayern Munich want with Mathys Tel? The future of this player, I think it's a bit of a triangle at the moment. We're going to get into all of that and go through everything as to why Bayern Munich have not left the table. Manchester United, but Mathys Tel actually pushing this move and making it happen. Let's bring you up to date with everything that is going on and strap yourselves in, people. It's going to be one of them ones, I think. I thought it might be all concluded. We might have a nice, calm deadline day. Nope. It's not. A result like that yesterday usually prompts action. It usually gets everything going, and I think quite clearly, if we are going to go into the latter stages of what is a crucial last part of the season with Ruben Amorim in charge, and he is going to be tinkering around with the team and he's going to be trying to find different ways to make the most out of this Manchester United season, he's going to need a few more tools in his box. Honestly, like when you've got two so-called nines, as in number nines, top strikers that you spent over £100 million on the bench, having not played full 90 minutes in the previous game either, it's kind of a signal to the boarders to say, I need a little bit of help. It is a bit of a cry for help from Ruben Amorim, especially when you've got a midfielder who has only just come into Manchester United playing as a false nine. So when I seen the team yesterday, I thought it was going to be Bruno as a false nine, but everybody got excited by Kobbie Mainoo playing in the 10 against Steaua Bucharest. Leave him at 10. He's not a number 9. That, for me, was a clear sign from Ruben Amorim, and I think the game panned out yesterday and showed us that. 17 shots, 2 on target. We need a striker. What is happening? Enter the latter stages of deadline day. We got the news last night that Mathys Tel is off. No deal. Bayern Munich want a permanent deal. United walking away. We kind of accepted that, so we were looking and waking up this morning to seeing what was actually in the news and how Manchester United might help Ruben Amorim in this latter stage of the season. And Mathys Tel's back on again. According to Fabrizio Romano, we'll go through that first of all, but Mathys Tel is still pushing to leave Bayern Munich on loan. Bayern Munich are insisting on an obligation or permanent deal. All clubs interested in Tel are still there and calling. Everything is open. Plettenberg, Loic Tanzi, Fabrice Hawkins, all of these well-known journalists last night were talking about this deal being off, and then all of a sudden Romano, top dog, comes up and says it is still on. The Athletic have stayed quiet on it, which usually tells you that there is something still going on in the background. You'd usually get a Laurie Whitwell or a David Ornstein coming out at this point, backing up what's been said by Plettenberg. It just shows you the tiers, really, within the journalistic world and who is what and who knows a little bit more. I'm not saying that Plettenberg doesn't. With Bayern Munich, he's right on top of it, and we've covered quite a lot. I'm guessing that he was just reporting last night that Tel is off because Manchester United have still not agreed a permanent deal. United are never off. The deals are never off the table. You can walk away, and I did say yesterday, I'm not saying that this deal isn't done because you've still got a full day to go today. The clock is ticking, of course, but can United put that money down? Are we willing to go with the obligation? Now, I don't know how Bayern Munich are going to play this. I don't know if they're going to maybe drag out a bigger fee out United up front. I don't know if United can afford a fee. Bayern Munich want some money down. They want some commitment to gaining money off this deal. It's not a straightforward loan to them. It is a prospect that they brought in, like I said, under Julian Nagelsmann, was working well last season. Company hasn't used him. They see this as a player who's contracted till 2029, don't forget. Big contract. So if they're going to lose one of their assets halfway through his deal, not even halfway through his contract, they want money off Manchester United. That's their stance and that's what they want from this. And now it's up to Manchester United. Are they willing to put their hands in the pocket? I do believe the standoff is because Manchester United have got other targets. They have got other players that they would like to spend that money on in the summer. Whether Tel is a long-term project or not, I think that's the angle right now. And then you bring in Mathys Tel. It has been reported and said all along that he wants to weigh his options up in the summer. So he's happy to stay at Manchester United, but obviously he wants just a straightforward loan with no obligation. This is why he turned down Tottenham Hotspur. This is why he's turned down other clubs. There is no permanent deal in Mathys Tel's mind. Now, a Manchester United fan could look at that and say, well, we want commitment from a player. But really, when you look at it in detail, you can see why Mathys Tel is looking at this. And I think this deal is still on because of Tel himself and what he is looking at. And when you look at it and break it down in detail, that's how this deal has panned out. He was the one and the driving force behind pushing Bayern Munich into letting him go this month. He was the one who wanted the loan. He didn't want to do the permanent deal. Bayern Munich have seen the lights and seen the money that Tottenham were willing to put down and got a little bit excited. And now Mathys Tel has come back and said, well, no, this isn't what I want to do. I want a loan. So in comes the obligation communication with Bayern Munich and Manchester United. And that's where we're at right now. United clearly just want a loan, which suits Mathys Tel, because then he can reassess in the summer. Bayern Munich have seen the money on the table, got a little bit disappointed because Mathys Tel doesn't want to go to Tottenham, and they are backing the player. They have said this. Even the directors of Bayern Munich have said they are wanting to help Mathys Tel find a club because he's not going to get the game time he wants at Bayern this season. So it's stuck between the player pushing Bayern Munich, United not having any money, and Bayern Munich really just wanting to secure their assets and actually get decent money out of him. Look, they bought him for 20 million euros. I don't think he's worth more than 50 million at all. I really don't at this stage. He hasn't done enough. I think he's definitely between a 30 and 40 million pound player because of what he's done in Bayern Munich's first team. But at this stage right now, Bayern Munich are taking advantage of desperate teams. They have covered. They're not bothered about Manchester United's situation. They will stand firm. And this is now probably the first real test for INEOS and Manchester United's football structure. They were happy and they looked comfortable going into this, and this is Bayern Munich shutting them down completely. Now, remember in the summer, Manchester United's negotiations for Matthias de Ligt and Nusam Mazraoui, they went well. They worked alongside each other. This is the difference between a summer transfer window and a January transfer window. When a team is desperate, no matter what the relationship with an opposite club and how they've negotiated before, they cannot just allow players to leave in January. And that's Bayern Munich's stance on this. They need to make sure that they're securing what they invested in and spent time in bringing in. And Manchester United are literally clinging on to any sort of deal that they can get to try and help Ruben Amorim out. This should have been sorted and dealt with earlier on in the transfer window. It's as simple as that. This is where Manchester United should have been, but they're not. And this is where the criticism is going to come from the fan base, I feel. This is why Manchester United fans will be a little bit angry with INEOS. And if we do not secure a forward for Ruben Amorim now, I can see people piling in fully. I've seen it last night all over social media. The knives are being sharpened for INEOS right now if they don't get it. I understand their stance. I understand the situation. They had to make sure that Marcus Rashford was out the door. That has been done. We've seen the pictures. Marcus Rashford sat there signing his contract. He's thanked Manchester United in a message on social media, as he always would, and we've moved on. We now need a forward in. Garnacho was poor yesterday. Ahmad wasn't fantastic with all of his efforts. Mainu is not a number 9. Ruben Amorim would rather play a midfielder than his 2 number 9 strikers, like I said, that cost United over 100 million. Poor recruitment from yesteryear and the last 10 years has got United where we're at now. We all know that. But what are INEOS prepared to do to sacrifice what they have got planned to try and help this season. We cannot afford to be seen as Manchester United sacrificing a season this early, because that's what this is. This is what it is at Manchester United now, and this is how every single Manchester United fan is looking at it. So that's the state of play right now and where we're at. So I'm going to keep you up to date with all of the news which is breaking and everything going on. We have an update from Florian Plettenberg at 8:22 a.m. in the last 10 minutes, in fact. German time FC Bayern have not reached an agreement with any club regarding the transfer of Mathys Tel. There is still some time left. Arsenal are also in talks with Bayern Munich. Bayern still want to sell or let him go with an obligation to buy, but it continues to depend on the right offer. There should be no panic sale, which is why Bayern have not ruled out the possibility of him staying. More talks with clubs are scheduled in the next 2 to 3 hours, is Florian Plettenberg is saying. And that realistically now is the state of play. Like, Florian Plettenberg has come out this morning to cover what he said last night. He basically said, like I just told you, the deal was off. Bayern Munich are in no rush to get rid of Mathys Tel. They're happy for him to be back at the football club. They're happy for him to be playing with Bayern Munich until the rest of this season. They are in no drama situation. Complete contrast to what Manchester United are in right now, and that's the difference in this deal. That's why we are panicking a little bit as Man United fans, that we're going to be stuck with the situation of no forwards going in through the rest of this season. Manchester United's forward options literally are Garnacho, Ahmad, Joshua Zirkzee and Rasmus Højlund. We could easily say between them players that they are not good enough. In fact, Jean-Philippe Mateta has got more goals in the Premier League than all of them players as well this season for Crystal Palace. We're talking Brian Mbeumo from Brentford. We're talking Chris Wood. It's embarrassing how other clubs have got goal-scoring forwards in their team, but we haven't. This is just unheard of for Manchester United. And I think this is where the fans are getting their backs up a little bit with everything that's going on. It's like, how have we got to this stage? It's all right getting rid of Marcus Rashford, but you do need to bring other players in. No one was bothered about Marcus Rashford rotting on the sidelines, but nobody was under the illusion that we needed to sell him to bring another forward in. We still knew that Ruben wasn't going to play, and we still needed a forward. So the stance from the football club really has to be looked at on that side of things. The fact that we were getting close to selling Garnacho as well, and still not getting a forward in over the line, that's where people are going to say, this is on INEOS, this is them trying to save money, this is them penny pinching, and I get it, and I understand what everyone is saying on that. But where we're at right now with the finances, PSR, the wing-back situation, and Patrick Dorgu coming in, that's where Manchester United's money has gone. Some people would say, was it not more important to get a striker? I said yesterday it's more important to get a goalkeeper right now. But this system is failing in the wing-back areas. It really is. And that's what I think United have gone for. They just did not expect, I don't think, Manchester United's forward line to be this bad. I don't think they were prepared for the drop-off, the complete drop-off. And this has been a shock to everybody's system. I think more in INEOS's. They've brought the right man in. We all know he's the right man. But if you are going to allow him to do what he wants to do and challenge these players and test these players and mix it up and try different things to try and find a way out of it, break the mould, you have to expect the downfall. And then you do have to try and give him something, because I'm not going to say that Ruben Amorim is just going to fall off a cliff here and everything that he knows and everything that he stands for and what he believes is going to work as a coach is just going to disappear. But the longer it goes on, the more dejection you get, the more disappointment you get, it is going to start playing on the likes of Ruben Amorim and his coaching staffers to say, like, we've never been through this before. This is the worst run in our careers we've ever had. This is the worst run in Manchester United's history in the Premier League ever. Like, eventually, it will just keep on going down and down and down, and you'll think that nothing is ever going to change. I'm not saying that that is the case, but unless you do something to pick something up and just bring in a couple of players that are actually just going to give you that lifeline from now until the end of the season, then that's the way it's actually going. And it could affect what happens going forward. It could affect decisions going forward, Ruben Amorim. It really is a worrying situation for the rest of this season, knowing that we've got, another 4 months of this to come. That's hard to take as a Manchester United fan. We do have to be patient and sit this out and just let this play out. But, my God, what we are doing right now is really exposing these players for what they are. And if Ruben isn't going to change, we are going to have to write off this season. We are going to just have to say, look, it's done. We just got to sit through this crap right now. And poor old Ruben Amorim is going to take the brunt of it from all of the media, all of the pundits, saying you cannot do this. This is Manchester United. All of these pundits that don't have a clue or have looked into anything at all in depth at Manchester United and the situation. I heard people on there last night saying Marcus Rashford's a goal scorer. United are struggling to score goals. It's Ruben Amorim's fault. They've got no idea, absolutely no idea, as to what is going on behind the scenes at Manchester United or what we've actually lived through. They just look at the results, they look at the table, and you'll get idiot pundits coming out talking absolute garbage about the situation. Ruben Amorim will get the flack for it, the pressure will start to mount, and then the self-doubt starts to creep in. Let's just give ourselves something. Look, we've got options coming through the academy. And you know what? Out of all of this, you may get a silver lining. You may get a Chidowobby Martin come through and smash it towards the back end of the season, or give us another option. You've just got to be able, I think, to have something different there. And I think it has to come from the transfer market. It really does. And I don't believe that we will go through today without bringing somebody in. I really do think United will bring someone in. Mathys Tel, I don't know. Again, it's like the player's situation is he's open to just a straightforward 6-month loan. So are United, but Bayern are not, and Bayern won't budge. So United are going to have to give some form of commitment to taking Tel. Is he good enough? United's stance on this, I think, is right. With Tel, you're looking at him as an unproven player, really. You want to commit 40 to 50 million to him in the summer? That's a big part of our budget. United and fans that are saying we do have to commit this, just back Ruben Amorim right now. Well, what about the future? What are you going to say when the summer comes around and that money's already been spent, and then the club are having to sell Garnacho to try and make money again and actually spend more money in the summer? Because I don't know where United are going to be financially with no European football, because that's the state of play right now. We are solely relying on Mathys Tel coming in and helping Manchester United win the Europa League or win the FA Cup just to get back into Europe next season. And that opens up another issue at the football club, which is no European football. What quality of player can you actually bring into the football club? Because then you're just going to go down the lines of recruitment side of potential players again. We've been doing this forever and a day. Every single potential player we brought in hasn't hit the mark. We know they haven't. It's just taking too long. Like Rasmus Højlund, for instance, United, according to TalkSport again last night, are open to offers for Rasmus Højlund. They think he should be right there at the top of Manchester United's out list in the summer. He looks another dejected forward and another player that just doesn't want to be at Manchester United right now. He just looks lost. He really does. Again, like Joshua Zirk say, I thought he turned the corner and then he's not playing. I don't know where we're actually going and what Ruben's doing with that situation, but you can see the desperate need for people to come into Manchester United. I just don't know what the angle is right now, what the club are actually thinking. There is still talk of Christopher Nkunku. If it was a loan, he might be the better option for United right now. He's more of a central player as well. And he has got an eye for goal and a record for scoring goals. I'm not saying Tel isn't. And you know what? Tel, with United recruiting him or looking to recruit him over the last 18 months and being well interested in him, I think there is an element there that United would want Tel for the future. I don't know which player he's going to replace in that side, because we just made all this effort about trying to make Garnacho the player that isn't going to leave Manchester United, the academy player that we can't afford. This is Manchester United. We're not a selling football club. What if Tel comes in and dislodges Garnacho, and then Garnacho's back on the bench? It just makes us look a little bit... Do you know what I mean? You know where I'm going with it. If you eventually sort out the wing-back situation, Ahmad is going to take one of them roles. We're all saying that Kobbie Mainoo should be in there right now. That's his best position. Where's Bruno's best position? Is that 6 like he was yesterday? 8? 10? Who is going to play in that 10 role? There needs to be some striker, some number 9 out there that Manchester United can use. I think we're scraping the barrel though, and that's the problem. Why weren't we ready at the start of January to really make an effort to go out and get a proper striker? That's where the problem lies. We're on the last day, the last few hours of this transfer window now, and we still haven't got a forward in. That's what the journalists were all saying at Old Trafford yesterday. It's criminal how Manchester United have not brought a forward in. It is. It really is. And I don't know. We're going to go through the other news now as well. I'm going to get your comments in first of all. So let's go with that first. Please give the video a like, everybody. Let's get them likes up. We have nearly 2,200 in the room watching with us. We've only got 250 likes. Surely it deserves more of a like. It's going to be a busy old day. Make sure you have subscribed as well. Hit the bell notification button. If you are subscribed, you can get into that live chat right now, and that's where I'm going in a moment. And you can also keep up to date with the bell notification for any news that breaks today on deadline day. I've got you covered, everybody. Let's just do a random scroll up now and see what is being said. Protect the academy players and just suck it up, says Sam. Don't play any of them. See out the season. Take what's coming to us. I think a lot of people are on that. Roll on the end of the season. Watching our club is embarrassing. We're completely shite, says Paul. A lot of people will definitely be saying that outside the ground news today, Paul. How can anyone turn pigs' ears into a silk purse? I feel so sorry for Ruben Amorim. Tel is a 30 million player. Anything more is ridiculous. Teams are throwing money. Lesser clubs are throwing manually wisely. Is that money wisely? Makash says, heard it here first. Tel obligation to buy 40 million with substantial sell-on or buyback clause. Everyone's throwing their guesses out as to what is happening. Is Mathys Tel worth 50 million euros? Is he really the forward we need? Are Manchester United in need of a forward in January, and there aren't many other options there? Do we walk away from Mathys Tel and just concentrate on the summer? Do we trust in maybe a Chidowabi Martin coming through and working for Manchester United in the first team? It's a lot of pressure on a 17-year-old to come in at this stage to try and salvage what is a massively important season for Manchester United. We're talking about bringing a 19-year-old in, so what can I say? Like 17 to 19, these are all teenage young lads in our forward line. You look at the forward line, look at the ages, like Garnacho, Kobe Mainu, Amad Diallo. The eldest in that front line is 22 in Amad Diallo. You're about to bring in a 19-year-old to add to that and expect that to work? And expect that to be the answer? There is no experience in this side. There is no nous or extra little bit of quality in that front line. And that's what United are lacking massively. A strong forward who can hold the ball up, who can give the other players around him that little bit more and give them the option, link up the play. You would hope it would be Xerxes. Look, the deal was there to be had with Osimhen, I think. I think United could have really pushed it to make that happen, but look, it's gone. That's gone. Is there any other forward out there that United could be going for right now? I think they're literally looking at every possible option out there. And I think it's going to be ordering the dominoes in late at Carrington and the offices of Manchester United, because there's going to be some deals, I think, going down. Malacia is another one that is supposedly going out of the door. Betis and Juventus, as you can see, are both at the bottom of the screen there. Both on their way out both interested in the deal for Tyrell Malacia going out on loan. Sekou Kone turns 19 today as well. Obviously, we're not going to be bringing in Ben Chilwell. He has gone to Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace looked like a stronger side than us. Yesterday, they proved it again. 4th game in a row where we've not been able to score a goal against Crystal Palace in the league. It's embarrassing. Other teams are doing good recruitment. I'm seeing Ward-Prowse going back to West Ham. I'm worried about West Ham making a charge up behind us right now. They're playing better under Potter. Everton are on a charge now under David Moyes. They've got wins in a row. They've actually got more consecutive wins in a row than Manchester United in the Premier League this season. The embarrassment levels are stacking up and up and up and up. And then when you add to it, when you look at the Sandro Martinez situation, last thing we need right now is more injuries and an injury crisis. And it's the 3rd season in a row where we're going to be missing Lisandro Martinez for a prolonged period again. He hasn't managed to play out a full season yet for United. And where we don't class Lisandro Martinez as one of them injury-prone players as such, as one of the demics, he really is. And unfortunately, he keeps getting these impact injuries all of the time. Just to keep you updated on that, Amorim concerned Martinez's latest injury is serious. It would be the third serious one since joining Manchester United, /4th in consider he suffered recurrence of a broken metatarsal in his first season. You could class it as fourth serious injury. Latest injury comes 12 months after medial collateral knee problem. And the big concern is there again. I know we've just brought in Aiden Heaven. I think he'll end up coming and being used straight away. Maybe Mazraoui drops back into the back three. I'm not overly concerned again regarding the centre-back situation. It's other areas of the pitch, but that's the concern and a little warning sign right there. If we get another serious injury, say for instance, Ahmad gets injured, forget everything. Forget the season. It's off. That's how poor Manchester United's front line is right now. If Ahmad gets injured, it's over. It is. You know it is. Without him, where would we be? Without Amad Diallo officially on the stat side of things, and you could say, what's the point in saying without him? He is one of our players, so we have got him. But literally, I'm talking about players actually turning up this season and offering something. Without Amad Diallo doing what he's done this season, and let's not forget, Ten Hag wanted rid of him, United would be in the relegation zone. That's the scary facts. And that, I think, Lisandro Martinez, and why I wanted to bring this up, is so important right now. Not because of him. We have got cover at the back, like I said, but can you imagine if the worst case scenario comes about and we get a situation now where Amad Diallo goes down or Garnacho gets injured? Where are the goals coming from? What are we going to do? There is no way out of this. Something needs to happen today. Unfortunately, INEOS are going to have to take the plunge on something here, I feel, and we will end up paying more than what we wanted to, but you know what? Needs must, it's necessary, and that, I think, is why we're expecting something big to happen today. Let's get some more comments in. I'm going to scroll right up again. First of all, super chat from Andy Atherton. Thank you, mates. Hi, Adam. Great show, as always. Hypothetical question. Who would you bring back to play in Amorim's system? Fernandez, Alanga, De Gea, McTominay, etc., etc. Oh, good God. Right now, just give me De Gea back so I can stop shots. I think we would have about another 7, 8, maybe even 10 points right now if we had De Gea in United's goal over Onana. I really do. I think he would have comfortably done what Onana's done good, and he would have saved more shots that cost us points. And I'm talking serious points. I really do think that De Gea would have. Like I said, I wanted De Gea moved on. I thought it was time to move De Gea on. I still do. I had full hope that Andre Onana was going to be that man. Ten Hag, again, entrusting in him that summer after that first good season, he completely fell off a cliff with his recruitment in that second summer. That's what I would bring back anyway, mate. If Amorim fails, in my opinion, it's completely due to not making the big calls. Every manager gets scared at United. This is why United has stagnated. I think he has made the big calls. I don't think we can even go in on Ruben Amorim this season at all. He has been thrown in at the deep end with weights around his ankles. We cannot blame Ruben Amorim on this. You can talk about playing Onana. I've pulled him on that. Stop playing Andre Onana and you might save yourself a little bit more and get a few more points. Bruno is so inconsistent as well for a Man United captain. Everybody's inconsistent in this side, it would seem, right now. Bruno right up there as well. Another poor game yesterday for him. Unfortunately, he is one player that will actually commit and give you guaranteed minutes in terms of his energy and what he's got in him. And right now, that is the baseline for what Ruben Amorim needs. It sounds bad, I know. The fact that we're classing who should be in Manchester United's side by how much they run. But that's the level of where we've gone to right now. We're moving players on that really aren't worth the effort and don't want to give the effort. And we're keeping all the players that, for the basic, are willing to run and give absolutely everything. That's where we're at. That's like rock bottom right now for Manchester United when it comes to standards. It really is. It's embarrassing. It really is embarrassing. Ginny says, we are acting like a teenager. We're acting like a teenager is going to solve our problems. He's not even a goal scorer. He won't make a single bit of difference to this squad. They are afraid of playing Manchester United. Jeffrey, not one. Why can't our crap owners just open up and say, yes, okay, loan with option to buy. Rash will go in the summer, so grow a pair of balls and do the deal. And Bayern are being prats too. No, they're not. Bayern are really not. If I was in Bayern Munich's position right now, I'd be doing exactly the same, and I'd be applauding my football club for what they're doing. Bayern are absolutely within their rights to just stand firm and make Manchester United sweat on this. They don't care. And you know what? Not got a problem with what Bayern Munich are doing. They're just seriously running their football club. And the only reason that we're not happy with Bayern Munich is because we're jealous. Because they're running the football club properly and we're not. So when we get a bit narky because they're wanting out more for a player, well, they invested in the player. It's their player. So if they want to get more money out of him, then they're quite within their rights to do so. So, yeah, when it looks like it, when you look at it in detail, you're like, the only reason you're a bit miffed off is because you wish that you were Bayern Munich right now. They have got multiple forward options. They are a properly run football club. They recruit. They have their issues above at the board level, obviously, as we know. But when it comes to transfers, they know what they're doing. United are playing catch-up completely right now. So, no issue with Bayern Munich. I'd want the same from Man United. United are going to have to just deal with it. Look, you got yourself in this mess. Don't start blaming other clubs for being unrealistic. I don't think they are. I think United are being realistic with this. And you know what? Will United get Mathys Tel? That is the poll that's running right now. We've already had over 1,400 votes on it. 52% of you are saying yes. 48% of you are saying no. Look, we're at this stage right now where, and I think this is, again, it goes back to what I was feeling after the game yesterday, listening to fans and listening to people outside the stadium, on the radio, driving home. Suck it up. It's your fault. We're going to have to fall even more. Don't just go buying players willy-nilly now and go on like this big market sweep all of a sudden, just trying to bring in anybody. Let's be honest, like the comment just said there. Can we really expect Mathys Tel to come in and be the answer to all of the problems that we've seen yesterday? He isn't a number 9. He works across the front line. He can cover in positions. I would be happy if he came in because I think it's a future sale, a future player for Manchester United. My only concern is that he gets enrolled into this carnage, which is Manchester United. His confidence is shattered because everybody thinks he's going to come in and be the saviour. And as soon as he goes 2 or 3 games without scoring a goal, the fan base will be on his back saying, oh, another pure potential signing that's not been worth it, more money wasted by United. He's thinking in his head, he's made the wrong decision, he starts to fall away. This is where it's at right now. If I'm Mathys Tel, I'm looking at United, I'm going, ooh, I was thinking like yesterday, I wonder what Aidan Heaven and Patrick Dog, who sat in the stands, were thinking. I wonder what they were all. I wonder what everyone in the stands was thinking in that director's box, because there's a few academy players in there as well. It's like, Jesus, wow, this is Manchester United. Like, yes, this is this club, and the reality is we are shocking. We really are, and we're going to have to fall even further, I think, right now. That's my honest opinion on what I'm looking at. They just cannot handle being in that red shirt and playing on that pitch. It's embarrassing for the home fans. It's not working in INEOS' favour because they want to up the ticket prices. This is all going wrong. I just don't think there's anyone out there that's going to fix what United's problem is right now. I really don't think we can get anyone. You can get the next best thing on a 6-month loan. United, I think, are looking at this properly. Thank you for the gifted memberships, Angry Beaver, as well. Twice there. Love that. Thank you. I think INEOS are looking at this properly. I think the club are looking at this properly right now. And I think they're going to have to own up. They've made a mistake. They made a big mistake, but we've already talked about that. But who literally out there is available at the right price without going over the PSR threshold? It's January. The summer was a mess. The summer was a sham with keeping Ten Hag. That has set us back light years right now. Ruben's making mistakes with his team selection. You can argue that. I totally get it. He isn't going to go without criticism on this. I think that is the only thing I can pull him on. Maybe just stick with one team now, Ruben, and just go forward. I understand he's trying to change things. I'm happy that we've got a manager that is willing to try and do something different instead of sticking to the process and playing the same players that were failing all the time. I think he's outed everything. I don't think, personally, Ruben Amorim expected every single Manchester United player to fail to the level that they have. Every manager comes into United and thinks, this is United, surely there's something good here. There are good players at this football club, there are. But you can only be as good as the player next to you. You can perform well, but if you make that pass and he balls up, then what are you going to do? Like, go back again, start it all again, play that pass again, he loses it again. This is the problem you've got when you haven't got the better players around the good players we've already got in this team. Then there is going to be that collapse. It is going to be looked like it's a system that's failing, and the pressure will start to just mount onto Ruben Amorim for what he's doing team selection wise. But I honestly feel that Ruben came in thinking that surely Manchester United have got some good players in his team. I don't think he expected the level to be as bad as what it was. And he's exposed it. He's exposed it for everybody to see. And that probably is the one thing that needed to happen for the long-term future of this football club. It's painful. It's horrible. And we shouldn't, as Manchester United, be accepting that the season is over. We need to be getting players through the door. I just don't think the players are there. I don't think the answer is there out there right now. Off the top of my head, we're only going to be buying players that are there available that are similar to what we've already got. And then it just gets crowded, and then you end up playing players out of position like we did with Kobbie Mainoo yesterday. He's a 10. Ahmad's a 10. Garnacho's a 10. Xerxes a 10. Bruno's a 10. We just we want to stretch it out and spread it out when you can see what Ruben's trying to do. But it's literally virtually impossible to do it because they are not good enough to play as a number 9. The biggest sale that you will make, the hardest player to get right, the biggest investment at any football club for any player is a number 9 striker or a forward. Look at all of the big clubs that are right up there right now. It's the number 9. Always has been, always will be. And United have got it wrong for, oh God, how many years now? How many years? Honestly, it's embarrassing that we're in this situation, but I'm looking at this now. I'm coming to the comment section in a moment, everybody, as well. And this is the start of our deadline day. It's going to be jam-packed. I'm guessing at least another 3 live streams before the day is finished. We're going to see out the last hour as well later on this evening. There's a load normal schedules, and there is going to be obviously the the extra later on going into the actual last minutes of deadline day. So make sure you are tuned in. Please hit the like button, everybody. We're creeping up to the 500 mark. We've got over 2,500 in the room with us right now for the first stream of the day. I love that, everybody. Thank you so much. Keep your comments coming in. Please give the video a like. Make sure you have subscribed to the channel as well. If anything does break, your bell notification, if it's on, will notify you of what is going on. Malacia to Juventus or Betis, that's being talked about. Tel is still going ahead. Talks are still going on. It's whether United are willing to put money down. That's where we're at right now. Another super chat from Andy Atherton. Thank you, mate. Hi, Adam. V studied Chris Wood, 17 goals this season, and most of them are from good service and inside the box. Proper number 9, yes. Do we rate Rasmus or Xerxes above Woods, or is it purely down to lack of service? Chris Woods is twice the player that both Rasmus Højlund and Joshua Xerxes is. I'll say it there. Chris Wood, veteran, player, journeyman, he's better than what we've got up front. They're the facts. And you can argue with me all you want, but I would take Chris Wood right now. I would take Chris Wood. I'd love to have Anthony Elanga back on the wing, but we don't play that way. That's the service. I was saying yesterday, why don't we just get Harry Maguire bombing forward and let the midfielders drop back in moves? Just have a target in there to head the ball, pick up the seconds. We haven't got the quality to pass through teams. We've got Amad Diallo who will take 2 or 3 players on, but then he's got 3 or 4 players on him because the defenders know that the rest of the United's team is shit and they don't need to mark them. So they will isolate the best, which is Amad, and that's what's happening in games now. It's not that Amad's playing any worse. It's just that teams have cottoned on to where United's threat is, and the other players are not good enough to take on that mantle. They just aren't, and that, unfortunately, is United's situation right now. We're trying to shoehorn players into positions. Everyone's trying. The effort's there. I'm not blaming players' effort. I think it's there. The quality, unfortunately, and football IQ and now what is needed for these roles is just not within our squad. And unfortunately, Ruben Amorim has done a great job, but at the same time, he's uncovered a massive issue. And someone needed to do it. Unfortunately for Ruben, he's the one that's going to take the flak for it. We will not be judging Ruben Amorim, I don't think, and we shouldn't be doing, until another 2 years from now. January, in 2 years' time, 2027, that's when everybody should be looking at Ruben Amorim and saying, right, okay, he's right or he's wrong for this football club. You've got to give this man 2 years to do what he's got to do. And you're not going to hear me calling for Ruben Amorim. You're not going to hear me saying we should have kept Ten Hag. You know that. I'm just going to be honest. We give everybody at this football club the right amount of time. If you're not hitting it in 2 years, then you're out the door. Rasmus Højlund, laters, mate. If you're not doing it, we cannot wait around. We cannot just wait for these players, if we like them or not, just to come good. Look, there's some players that don't work at United. Real Betis, mid-table La Liga side. That's where Anthony's level is. He's playing well there. He got man of the match last night in his first game. Yeah, that won't last forever. I know that. And it's a bonus for United because he is actually helping them. And if he does, we get more money out of the deal. But honestly, like, there are levels to these players that are being found elsewhere now with them going out on loan. They're not Manchester United standards at all. You could argue the point that, well, United are bottom half of the Premier League table, so maybe that is his standard. But yeah, them players will get you there. The recruitment has been piss poor. It really has. And that's the issue that we've got. Into the chat we go. Let's go, everybody. Matt Red says, look who the manager is of Bayern. Is why would he want to help United? He hates us. That's probably why it's not no loan and they want to fleece us. It's nothing to do with that, actually, mate. It's just that Bayern Munich are really that well run and the company won't have a say on that situation. The way that football club is run is why Tuchel and Nagelsmann left and company is fifth choice because no one else would go into that melee. So, yeah, he is just a coach, basically, company. And the Bayern Munich hierarchy are in charge of what is going on with this deal right now. I don't think it's got anything to do with Vincent Kompany at all. I get what you're saying, and I do get that. He's probably laughing at the situation we're in right now. Why is that? Every team in the league have a better forward line. It's depressing. Yep. Terrified if Ahmad gets injured. Oculus, yep, definitely. I said that a moment ago. That would be the big concern right now and why we probably do need to get someone in as well. I don't think it's Amorim's fault because these players always lose at home. It's like they hate the fans. 73 million striker should be scoring goals. Højlund 2 league goals isn't good enough. Yep, I think he will be gone in the summer. All our CBS are too slow to play a high line. I will say it until it sinks in with people. Maguire, De Ligt, Martinez, no pace. So they're too deep and caught high. Not on that one, mate. I'll bring it back. You need a goalkeeper that's going to play sweeper keeper. The goalkeeper won't come out of his box. I haven't got a problem with playing the high line with them defenders. I really haven't. But you need a goalkeeper that's going to help out as well. And I think naturally, Ruben Amorim is trying to push these players forward. You could see it yesterday. But Andre Onana doesn't help them at all. Every other top goalkeeper plays sweeper keeper. Right off his line covering. That's what's needed. That's what is needed. Eventually you'll have Aiden Heaven. You may have Lenny Yoro. Quicker defenders. And we'll see if Heaven actually comes into Manchester United's side and gives us anything else. But you're looking at Sekou Kone now. He's just turned 19. That's the sort of coming of age sort of area right now. We can expect to probably maybe see him in at some point this season. Obi Martin now obviously 17, going into 18 next season, later on this year. Then we may see him. These are the types of players that we're actually looking at, because if we're going to go out and buy a 19-year-old, we've got our own in there as well already, and that's a decision that will need to be made. Thank you again, everybody in the chat. Like over 2,500 still in the room. Absolutely love that to kickstart the day. Almost at that 500 like mark. Please keep liking the video, everybody. Keep your comments flying in. I'm going to get through a few more of them. We spent 100 million on 2 supposed strikers. I feel sick, says Gehan. I'm with you. I'm with you, Gehan, mate. Hi, Adam. We can't waste any more time on Tel. As much as I'd like us to get him, we have to get any striker, literally any decent striker on loan. Tick, tick, tick. Bailey wide. Ahmad at 10. No. Again, it's not working. And by the way, Bailey is off. That would not happen now. That was the news coming out last night. There is no way that Manchester United will get Leon Bailey, so forget Bailey. It looks like Nkunku and Tel are the two that could get interesting by the end of today. And I will keep you updated with everything that is going on. In fact, I'm just going to flick into everything that's going down now just to make sure everything is covered on this. Let's have a quick look on everything that's happening. Yeah, it just looks like doom and gloom at the moment. Yeah, proof of Manchester United needing a striker. I think Samuel Luckhurst has picked up on something that everybody was talking about yesterday. The ball that rolled across the 6-yard box at 0-0 yesterday, and the nearest to it was a fullback. Garnacho looked to the heavens, wondering where United's striker is. United have not had a credible long-term number 9 since Lukaku, who was short-term. That pretty much nails it in what Luckhurst said there. There are the facts. Like, we haven't had a number 9, a proper number 9, for a long time. We need to be in the summer, and I say in the summer, and I know it's painful because we need one now. We need to be going out and making sure that this never happens again at this football club. And whether or not we can salvage anything out this season to give us any credit in getting a better striker, we will see. I just hope. That's all I've got right now. It's clear Bayern moved the goalpost after the Spurs bid. For most of the window, it was all about Tel getting game time elsewhere, then going back. Bayern Munich don't care, mate. Cheers for the super chat, Glenn. And I said it before. If they see an opportunity, they have to act on the best interests of their club. And I think that's the situation. That's what they're doing. They're just going to take every single penny that they can get from this. They are not going to help any other club out. They're in the same boat as United. They're not going to help a rival. I know we're not a rival right now because we're a million miles away. But yeah, that's the reality of it, isn't it? That's where we're actually at. Xerxes hates going into the box. I don't get this guy. When they both came on yesterday, they both impacted the game zero. Honestly, they had no impact at all on the game when they came on. It's like we knew they weren't going to do anything. Will United get Mathys Tel? We're just creeping up to 2,000 votes on that poll. 53% of you have said yes, 47% of you have said no. It is looking like it is one of the deals that could happen. Just to update everybody on the Mathys Tel situation and where its reality is. Plettenberg has come out this morning and said where they're at. Bayern Munich are not budging. Fabrizio Romano earlier on this morning said Mathys Tel is still pushing to leave Bayern Munich on loan. Bayern Munich are insisting on an obligation or a permanent deal. All the clubs interested in Tel are still there and calling. Everything is open. Plettenberg has said more calls and more communication expected in the next 2 to 3 hours. Obviously, Bayern Munich are an hour ahead. They're creeping up to 10 o'clock in the morning right now. United need to get a move on if they want to get Tel through the door. The deal is still possible. Still possible. But is it enough? I think that's the key question right now. Is it enough for Manchester United? Is he going to make the difference to what is going on at the club right now? That's what you've got to look at. It could be a situation where Tel comes in, Chidowobby Martin comes in towards the back end of the season, something like that. I don't know. Tel doesn't happen because United haven't got the money. And Nkunku comes in for 6 months for Manchester United and maybe does something. I still think Vlahovic is the guy. He's on too much money though, Stu, unfortunately. That's the problem. United Spotlight says we 100% need a new striker, but we need 2 ball-playing 10s and another pivot player. We can't get them in this window though, mate, unfortunately. I know what you're saying, that is probably long-term and looking into the summer window, but still, right now, in salvaging this season and what we're talking about, I don't see it. I really don't see it. Brian Proper Clown, nobody's paying. Savage, they're not bothered. They'll keep him. They'll keep him. That much for a kid who hasn't scored for well over 10 games, and that too in January. Yep, mate, but he hasn't started. I think he's had about 4 starts this season as well. So we can't look at how long it's been since he scored a goal. He's not being used. But he's a Bayern Munich player, contracted till 2029. They hold all the cards. If they are not happy with anything that's coming in, they are just going to let that player sit there. And maybe he will come in towards the back end of the season. Look, they've always said that Tel staying at Bayern Munich is still an option. And let's be honest, I think that is how it's looking at the moment. Personally, in answering the poll question, do I think Manchester United will get Mathys Tel? I don't think we're going to get anyone this window. I think maybe Nkunku comes back into the equation later on. I don't think United are going to budge. And I don't think INEOS are as knee-jerk as what the old regime was. I'm going to go, I'll be surprised. I will be happy if we do bring somebody in, if it is the right quality, of course. But just how I'm looking at it right now, I don't think it's going to happen. I don't. Bayern Munich are standing firm. They are not going to buckle under any pressure from Manchester United or Mathys Tel. I just know it. They're in a position where they don't have to panic. United are. So it's United who will have to budge if anything is going to happen in this window for Mathys Tel. In this window, in this day. Because we've got less than half of it left. Ooh, it's getting tight, everybody. Not less than half of it. Obviously, we've got a little bit more yet. What is it? Around about 13 hours, creeping up 14 hours left of the window right now. Let's just see. The Garnacho saga has really slowed down to right. I think he'll stay. No, I don't think Garnacho's going anywhere now. And again, like everybody had that sinking feeling yesterday. Garnacho staying, yay! And then we came up against a solid Premiership side, and he was found wanting yesterday with everyone else in Man United's side. That's what I was saying all along. Are we clinging on to these players too much? Because if Garnacho fails now, all anybody who's championing keeping him is going to say at the end of the season, we should have sold him. We should have taken him. We should have just taken it and invested there and then in better players to save the season. That's the conversation that will come up. Look, we have to stick with Garnacho now and stick behind him. And that's it. That's the only option we've got with him right now. But look, that is the update so far. Please give the video a like. Let's get up over 600 live likes. 2,500 in for most of that show. That is epic, everybody. Thank you. That is the first of many live streams going through today with the carnage, which is transfer deadline day. I will be back later on, probably sooner than what you think, with everything the way it's panning out so far today. It's going to be hit and miss. Streams absolutely everywhere. So make sure you've got your subscribe button pressed. Bell notifications are on. Give this video a like on the way out because you're loving the content. Thank you for everybody who voted in the poll. 2,100 votes. 53% of you think a deal for Tel will get done. We go again later on, everybody. Stay tuned. It's going to be one of them days. Have a good one, people.